Hello. Today I'm playing around in the shop taking some old beat up, crusted over, glued over chisels. Things I use for just about anything and everything. Into nice, workable, usable chisels, flat backs, nice sharp edges. First thing I did, you can tell this one here is covered with glue, epoxy, who knows what else. I took it to a random orbit sander, cleaned it all up. First step is going to be we're going to flatten the back, and we're going to use a company called KITANIS, sells cheap diamond stones. We're going to give these a shot. I've had them since November. So far they've worked pretty good, but let's see how well they do on something like this. Add a little bit of water to it. Get these two out of our way. And flatten the back here. We're starting on the 400 grit. I go 400, 600, 800, 1000, and 1200. But it is. So we're going to continue on. Now that I got the majority of the back relatively flat, we're going to focus on the tip. I don't think I've ever flattened the back on these chisels. It's the first set of chisels I ever bought. And then when I got into doing some of the Queen Anne legs, I needed something that would hold an edge better, so I got into Narex and then the Japanese chisels. So these got demoted into dirt duty, so to speak. We're getting a little closer. I don't know if you can see that in the camera. I wanted to try diamond stones, and I got looking, and everybody's selling this style of plate now, even DMT. So I thought, well, to try it, see how they work, we'll give them a shot. And you'll see this is a company called KITANIS. If you read the comments, everybody will tell you they're junk because they break down after first use. But if you read everybody's directions, DMT included, they tell you that they will break down and settle down into the final grit. There is a break-in period for them. I've just been using them and they've broken in just fine. Let's see how. We're getting there. We're a little hollow on the outer edge and a little bit of hollow ground in the center. Let's continue taking that down. Add a little bit more water to it. Wipe up some of the garbage. You're getting pretty close to flattening out there. Still got a little bit on that corner, but I don't think that's really going to hurt much. It doesn't have to be super precise. Just as long as the main reference surface is flat. 1000 grit. As with any other stone, you don't want to push super hard down on the stones. It reduces the cutting. Just a light pressure. And we got a little bit more of the scratch pattern from the first or previous grits. You see we're getting very, very close. All the scratch patterns from the previous grits are gone. So let's turn our plate around, kind of clean things up a little bit. Add a little bit more water. Got a little bit of gunk from the first one I did. The link for these will be down in the description below. And if you like what I'm doing, hit the subscribe button. Comment below, see if there's anything you can add to it. Who knows, maybe you know something I don't know. Alright, the back should just about be done. See what it looks like. Back looks pretty good. Let's run it across the strap. Alright. Back's flat enough. Now, let's set back up and redo the bevel. We're going to set it at 25 degrees using our setting jig. I don't know why I always want to put the damn chisel head upside down. I have no idea what this thing is ground at anymore. So we're going to start off on 400. A little bit more water there. Tell who knows what it was ground at, but I'm going to have to go quite a ways to get that back to a 25-degree bevel. See, the swarf builds up on the stone, kind of clumps up. Got to stop every now and then and clean it up, but you shouldn't really have to go as heavy as I'm having to go. Basically a nuclear option back to zero. We're getting closer. Still a ways to go. we got an edge all the way across. Over 90% of the primary bevel's been redone. Got a burr building up all the way across the back. So now we'll wipe that stone down and go on to the 600. The 600 will refine the edge a little more. Now the scratches are a little finer in the system. That should be good for 600. Now we'll go up to the 8. Now we'll go to 1000 grit. And each progressive grit shouldn't take you as long as the previous grit. These diamond stones do a really nice job. I just wish they were a longer version. I didn't find any when I was looking. They could have them and I just missed them. Alright, still getting a little burr on the back, which is a good thing. We'll remove that burr. Alright, while we're at it, not necessary, but while I'm at it, I'm going to polish this up to 12. And then we're going to put a micro bevel on it of 30 degrees. Alright. So now, let's go back to our setting jig and set it up for 30 degrees. Now a couple passes on 800, 1000, and then 1200, and that should give us a nice micro bevel. As you can see, we're just adding a micro bevel across the very tip of the blade. That'll actually make the blade last, the edge last a little longer. All right, we're looking pretty good with our 1000 grit, I do believe. It's got a nice solid edge around it, got a light little burr on the back. We'll go to our 1200 grit. We'll make sure we get that all remove all the grits or the scratches from the 1000 grit. Keep an eye on it, see what we're looking like. So far for $20, I cannot say anything bad about these plates other than they're a little small. The aggressiveness on them works very well. Let's remove the burr. Burr is gone off the back. I'll run it real quick on the strap. And here we have a nice sharp chisel with a flattened back and no more glue all over it. Still very serviceable. Now we got one more to do when we get a chance to get there.